This'll be a long climb, won't it? And whenever we get that key, that is. Well, hey-ho, everybody, and welcome back to UnderHero. I was half tempted to say Garden Story again, as that was the last one I played. But, last time, we defeated the hero of legend and learned the ropes from the sword that he used to carry. And this time, while he sits down, we're going to be moving on, trying to find the big old key for the big old door right in front of us. Let's get moving. We don't really have much of an option but to go right here, as you can see. There's a spot right behind us, Emerald Meadows 2, which has a spot to caves, Emerald Meadows 1, which has that little underwater area, and finally here, where there's something below us. It's nothing special, actually. It's just the quest key, and money, and convenient little rings. Remember, swim through all the rings. Hey, you. Hey, Hibby. Oh, hey, you look like a good swimmer, but you know you can fall faster in the water if you press the down button? Good advice. You're welcome. Thanks. Sorry, my sword arm doesn't know how to handle itself. Oop. This one still hasn't mentioned that you fall slower underwater in battle. Huh. I know one of them does. I'm just surprised you haven't come across it yet. I really am, because I thought we would have by now. It makes sense to tell you about it. I mean, we're fighting underwater, you know? And not only did we level up, but that's a little introduction to another small thing. Some enemies will have extra items. In this case, they had a cassette tape on them, which is just a little something extra you can play at all save stations if you were really into that music that they dropped. But now that we leveled up, we get 3 things. 10 health, an attack point upgrade, deal more damage, or the one that I recommend the most, stamina points. Because when you hit 3 stamina, you kind of stop moving. It's so much easier and better to just have stamina. Sure, you might not be hitting as hard, and the battles might last longer because of that, but that's a small price to pay for being able to actually dodge an attack properly, right? But hey, there's a silver key. Remember what we saw on that map? Back in the first area of Emerald Meadows, there was that small little down spot where we can go, finally. And that will lead us to, well, the caves that they just so happen to mention on that said map. Might have some treasure for us. Definitely some new enemies. So I say, let's get moving. We're not going to be experiencing any battles along the way, because we took out everybody else along the way. And this brings us into the first topic here that I wanted to actually touch on, that we're not going to be seeing. Well, that topic is what happens if you bribed every enemy you came across. I'm not sure what would happen if you beat the game with only bribes, because I'm sure you can. Maybe. But every enemy that you bribe actually has extra dialogue to tell you about. And every single one. If you were to bother to bribe a random enemy, like, let's say that first one who talked about the weather, if you bribed them, they might elaborate on that after that quote-unquote battle. It's just a cool little touch. They added double the lines of dialogue for every NPC then at that point, basically. But here we are, the Resonant Caves. Now I could go down, which I am, to see what's going on over here. Is this progression? Is this treasure? No, it's just treasure. In this case, a cassette tape. The cassette stitched up. another music that we can play back at the save stations. Useful if you want it. I just prefer the usual save station music. I don't bother changing it. It's just easier to not... I think now is a good time to teach you about defense. The shield. This is your shield, useful for blocking and parrying enemy attacks. Costs 1 stamina point to use, so don't spam it. Let's start by blocking an attack. To block an attack, simply raise your shield by holding down the RT button. Ready? Go! For some reason, we can't talk, as you see. Oh, we actually have to block. Good! That green circle represents your shield's life. Looks like it took some damage already. Take too many hits and it will break. You can fix your shield with magic anvils outside of battles in your items menu, or just pay to fix it in the evil store. There's a better way to use your shield without breaking it. It's called parrying. It consists of raising your shield right before an enemy hits you, and boom! Now your enemy's stunned and vulnerable to attacks. Plus, you regain a little stamina too. Let's try it out. Ready? Go! I was about to get it, but okay. So satisfying. Unlike blocking, parrying doesn't damage your shield, and it even sends back most projectile attacks. You can even parry and block while tired, especially useful when you're in a pinch. Enough chit-chat, defeat that monster. Well, looks like talking's off the menu. Sure, we've got the money for it, but do you really want to use that? Ah, shay, that was my fault. I'd say use this as an opportunity to get used to parrying. However, every enemy type's different. They'll all have different ways of attacking, different timings for it. So, if you want, get used to parrying these guys. Might not matter entirely. Oh, that was my fault. Up. There are some enemies in later areas that I really do recommend parrying the most viable strategy for, but definitely not these guys. Just dodge them. See? Simple. Just like it's simple that there's plenty of extra little water bits there, like that one. We could go down it. We could also go down that one with money. I say let's go down the one without money first. See what's here. Just a deep, deep pool. That isn't weird and scary like the one in Super Paper Mario. That one is really weird. Ah. An apartment key, though. Apartment key C3. That'll be useful to get once we actually get back into, you know, the main hub / workstation, whatever you want to call it, honestly. Hub, work, whatever. It's all the same to this dude. Which I haven't elaborated on. Our character is, well, our name. And they are a masked kid. Creatures, or kids, I'm not actually sure, that reside in the final castle of the area. Well, final castle, period. Anyways, here's Chad. I can't wait for Lord Sidges to beat the hero and conquer the world, so I don't have to guard this stupid chest. They don't even tell me what it has inside. Suspense is killing me. Oh, whoops, I accidentally pressed the button again. Well, we'll help you with that. We'll make it literal. He's into it anyways, apparently. Oops. Well, alright. Thankfully, you're able to correct an attack if you time it just barely right. Thank goodness. You're just stuck using that one? Alright, that's on you there, buddy. You know, whenever the enemy gets tired like that, it's always a gamble. Do you want to attack more, or do you want to wait and let your stamina regen? Anyways, what's in the chest? 20 coins. I'd say that's pretty worth it. And we got more XP. We're already level 2, and hey, getting more is good. And more money, of course. We're gonna need to buy everything we can in that store. Because, oh boy, those things get really, really expensive later on. So, it is so worth it to buy. Dollop. Fighting underwater is great for us. We don't slow down while jumping or attacking. It's nuts! You don't look very amphibian, so you might want to fight on land. Yes, he's the slight reference to the jump thing, where you'd probably be able to figure it out from that. Although he would definitely... No, you would have definitely fought other enemies underwater, and unless you're bribing every enemy you come across, you're probably going to learn that by just doing it. Trial by fire, I like to call it. Which is to say, when you just kind of learn by doing without any sort of tutorial. Like, as an example, say you wanted to play D&D or any of the Baldur's Gate games or whatever, and you just haven't learned how to do it, you don't know D&D tricks or whatever, so you just kind of start the game up and you're like, let's do this. Yeah, I've been doing that on my Twitch. I have 100% been doing that on my Twitch channel because I don't know Baldur's Gate. Anyways, here's this one. Natasha, I am an honorable warrior. A worthy opponent is what I seek. Do not dare insult me with your dirty money. It will bring you down with just one hiss and a blink. Fight me, masked warrior. An extra thing. You can press LT in battles. Their hints are shorter now. Pay attention. Multiple times. Although apparently she doesn't have anything to say. These are the same species as the other guys, although they're Neo version. Yeah. As you can see, each of their attacks, instead of a double blink or a double hiss, it's only one, giving you shorter time periods to figure it out, and probably more damage too, on average. As you just saw. I was trying to get my point across and I ended up getting hit. Come on, attack me. I want that stamina. Perfect. You also dropped a cassette tape. So hey, that's pretty good. And the gold key. And a potion, apparently. So, yeah. Oh, back at the big tree anyways. A little something to note, too. The journal that we've been keeping, it actually updates as we do everything. Everything. Look at that. Everything that's been detailed from the start. Even stuff right now, such as finding the locked key and finding a big shiny key to enter the tree. Silver keys don't work. Obviously, the lock is golden, so why would a silver key work? Let's open it up. Let's go in. As we see, someone else has been watching us this whole time. But who could it be? That's something we'll find out later. For now, I believe we'll be exploring the Moth Queen's tree later. I will see you guys then.